guys. Welcome back to the Neighbors Podcast. Thank you, Spondu Ballet, like always. Jack, Steven, here we are. Another Wednesday, another pod.
Yep.
It's Wednesday, you know what that means. Jack, welcome back. We're always happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So what's new? I mean, it's only been a week, but I think it's already crazy because it's been a few weeks since you moved in. Tell me how that experience has been. I mean, obviously it was an adjustment.
Oh, dude, honestly, it was quite the adjustment. Like, at first, I'm not even gonna lie, I was a little nervous. Because, I mean, I moved 4 states over. I was like, I'm totally out of my realm, not used to this. I didn't even have my gym that I'm used to going to. And then, yeah, I mean, after I got settled in, it took me a couple days, 3-4 days. And after I got my grid all in order, I was good. Feel comfortable now. And
have you noticed anything that, like, you really hate about Wisconsin or you like compared to Michigan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's a few of them? Like, name drop them.
I have okay, so straight off the bat, like, I have no idea how you guys have so many cornfields out here. I'm surprised I even was able to find your house, dude.
Yeah.
And if I, like, granted, I'm very thankful to have the tractors and shit, but when I get cut off on the road by a fucking 8-ton tractor, I'm like, you're kidding me, dude.
It's the slowest.
It's outrageous. But, yeah, no, I mean, other than that, I mean, you guys got a beautiful area. You guys are real close to the lakes, and obviously,
It's super similar. Like, Michigan and Wisconsin, they have their own differences, but they're very similar geographically.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely.
And, like, how the landscape and, like, how it's very hilly and there's, like, lots of lakes everywhere.
Yeah.
Very woodsy.
Yeah.
I would say, arguably, Wisconsin is, like, more woodsy than a lot of, like, the other Midwest, honestly.
Yeah, I would definitely say
That's why I like
Wisconsin's
it.
got us beat for sure. I mean, in Michigan, it seems like... I mean, so I grew up on the lake and stuff, and that was kind of my environment. It wasn't really like a farm style. But then again, anybody that I had pretty much lived on a farm. So, not too much of a difference there. It was just a little different for me, myself.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm not... I'm used to going outside. There's the boats, there's the water and shit, so... that's just...
Hating on the corn, I see.
I gotta say, I gotta say, you guys got some good soy sauce, but other than that, fuck corn.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, tell me, obviously we've been on this content journey. You've helped me tremendously since moving in, and obviously you've been juggling your own endeavors. Tell me about what's in the cookbook, or don't tell me, but tell the audience what's in the cookbook right now. Tell them what's on the works.
You know I've always got stuff going on. I mean, so... I've taken the content definitely a step back. I'm more doing that more or less as a hobby now, just kind of focusing on my little things that I would rather do. It's all from the heart, basically, anything that I'm posting. But as far as my new endeavors, I mean, yeah, I basically rerouted, and I've always just had a passion from like since I was a young kid to go flying. I was really interested in aerospace and all that stuff, excuse me. So... it was just good for me to, I kind of made the decision to buckle down, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to become an airline pilot, and I'm the type of guy that once I set my mind to something, like, I mean, it's only a matter of time before that happens. I'll fight to get it, so.
No,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So, I that's quite literally what I thought, too. I'm just like, it's neat to me. I've always been the weirdo looking out the window like, wow, imagine driving that big-ass piece of metal through the sky, like it's
metal
insane.
Cylinder that's carrying.
I mean, once you get
people.
into it, I mean, there's so many, there's a lot of physics and stuff that goes into it, and then just not only that, there's a ton of studying that goes into it as well, like figuring out what certifications you need. So I mean, I got a hell of a journey in front of me, but it's nothing that I don't think I can take.
Yeah, and you should definitely enjoy the journey as well. I mean, that's
absolutely.
Obviously, people get fixated on, reaping the rewards of everything, but sometimes it's better to just look back and just enjoy the ride while you're going on it,
I gotta be honest, dude. I don't even know what a pilot makes.
You know damn well what they make. I know for sure this motherfucker knows every statistic.
So, yeah, I mean,
good.
No, it is.
I don't have like a precise
If you're
idea.
a commercial airline, like you fly for Southwest, Delta, you are making above 200
Yeah,
grand.
sure.
Easily above 200 grand.
Yeah, so I mean, I could give you like a basic fact. I mean, like the median in the USA right now is 212 grand a year for a pilot, which is, that's a respectable number. Nothing to get too excited about it, but just in terms of providing for my family and stuff. Yeah, it's a good job, and I mean, so you hear crazy numbers. I mean, pilots make anywhere from they can make $110 an hour all the way up to some of the top end pilots are turning $1 million a year working for an airline. So I just figured for what I'm looking for and the risk of going on the content journey versus the risk of going into
100%.
the aerospace. It was just more. It seemed more laid out and course worthy for me.
Yeah.
Something that I can more. I got to be honest. The business end scared the hell out of me. I'm like, wow, this is. I just. I quite literally left my job, which was something that I had already been planning on doing, and so when I got into it, I just.
It's a big leap, and it's incredibly overwhelming if you're not prepared and have the tools ready to help you. Luckily, like for me, like I even see this now, like being a 2-man team, like where I'm like, fuck, it's really hard when you want, like, for example, when me and Steven want to be in a shot or a video together, we need some ding dong to fucking record us.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing though, is it's nice being a small team, but I can just see like how like overwhelming it can be, like especially like starting. I feel like starting like to make content and like because you don't know what works, like you have to just go the trial and error phase, like everything.
Definitely. Yeah, you gotta be willing to. You gotta be willing to have some trial and error there. I mean, Steven, did you notice anything when you started on the podcast, like? What you might record the whole podcast and things, but when you get into, is there much editing or anything that's involved?
Oh, there was a lot more in the beginning.
I mean, I can imagine working with like the audio and stuff like that. That's all got to be a pain in the ass. And you guys are a pretty small team, but you guys get it done.
I mean, I think it's pretty cool to look back and see like already the tremendous growth from when we started.
Watching our first episode compared to the 10th.
I mean, when we started recording, it was kind of off of the cuff. We were in, the studio next door.
Got off train of thought a lot.
And it was great, but we had a lot of technical difficulties, so it was a lot of.
I did some research on it too. I mean, I watched the first one. I know you guys is exotic fish and Toro. Right. Now, granted, I think those are great topics. I mean, back then, that was almost a year ago at this point, me and Zev were talking about getting into the Toro endeavors and stuff, which that was a little journey as it was itself. I mean, it taught us some things, and that's really what I'm about. I love just gathering as much knowledge as I can.
Yeah, knowledge and personal experience are the two best things that are going to bring you far in life, no matter the industry.
Invaluable. It's literally invaluable. You can't put a number on it. The more you know, the more you grow.
Speaking of your industry, me and Colton were actually talking about where I was like, after you had told me, like you had said, like I think I'm gonna be like a pilot, and you were like telling me more about it, the facts, the statistics, the schooling, and like kind of like the risk versus reward. I think a pilot is actually one of those jobs where it's like, first off, you don't have a boss per se. You have a conglomerate that you work for. You're not having like a boss that you clock in for. That aspect I really like. The money is clearly great. I also have, I love traveling, so like that would be cool if I was a pilot, so like that would be good for me. And like flying an airplane, like I'm not like some ding dong construction worker, or like some Joe Schmo. Like I'm a pilot and I get like 300
So Zeph, you bring
people.
up some good points there. I mean, something very driving for me, if you will, was the fact of I absolutely love to travel. I was willing to travel out to Wisconsin, and I've honestly been pretty much all over the Midwest sector of the U.S., obviously down to Florida. I've been to Alabama, South Carolina, blah, blah, blah. So I've really gotten the experience of like most of these places, and I truly love it. But
Tennessee?
I have been just through Tennessee, and I stayed a night there. Thanks.
All right.
But so anyways, I see a lot of American culture is pretty much the same in our half. Granted, I haven't been too far out west. This is actually as far out west as I've been, and I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to come out.
Yeah, of course.
But it fuels my fire of wanting to go abroad and check out different countries and kind of get in touch with how different cultures work. I know. If you look into the mainstream news and stuff like that, it's there's a lot of negative things that are said about the U.S. I don't personally agree with all of them. I think the U.S. is definitely one of my favorite countries for sure, but I just don't think I have a great idea of what other countries have to offer yet. So, granted, some of the benefits of being a pilot is, you might start by flying in your nation first, but once you can go national with it and you're flying, maybe to the UK and you get to stay for a couple.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
A big thing with pilots is they might, they bid their own work basically through their airline. So, you can bid a job and maybe that job is going to take you towards, the UK or something. And say you have a 3-day layover before your next flight to go to Portugal or something. So that's just exciting for me because in that downtime, so obviously being a pilot, there's going to be a whole bunch of work and stuff, and there's all sorts of different things that you can do in that field. But when you're off, your off time can be super exciting. I'm huge on hiking. I like to really take up some of the facts of the areas that I'm going to. Yeah. And it's just nice because it kind of boosts, like, it makes you more conversational. It's nice.
Well, yeah, when you have more experiences and more life experiences and just experience in general, whether that's traveling or whether that's you've worked a ton of jobs, you just have more offer, you have more knowledge, and not even just knowledge, but input and stories and advice. I mean, it just makes it more interesting.
I get a little cocky about it. I like the idea of knowing more than somebody else.
I don't ever want to strive to be a ignorant fool. I want to be someone who is not a know-it-all, but knows what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about something.
Listen,
yeah, that would be nice.
Right, would be nice, right.
I think you guys could probably agree. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect man, but you can definitely strive to be perfect.
Or not even perfect, just strive to be the best you can be. Or always trying to be a little bit better every day, like what we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Scotty, I want to hear more from you. We've been hogging the whole spotlight over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I'm trying to be a better person too, man. I mean, dude, I'm
you
telling
piece of shit.
No, I was telling you, I'm serious because I started flossing.
He's a better man.
You know what? I feel like a better person.
So you're not talking about a Fortnite dance, are you?
Yeah, no.
You gotta be. I'll get up and leave right now.
I stay flossing on them. That goes without saying. But my teeth, dude, would you believe if I told you that I've never flossed before?
Mm-hmm.
I would believe you because I think most people don't floss
Absolutely.
because it's painful, but it gets less painful the more you do it.
Yes.
Dude, but it's crazy because the more and more I think about it, I mean, I had just not been doing it. And that's such,
neglecting it.
You know, a major component of self-care that, you know, I figured, well, if I brush my teeth and that's good enough, I'll do that a couple times.
But no, because you got to get in between them shits.
Yeah, because that
plaque and other shit builds up.
In between your teeth, I mean, it's like washing your your armpits and like another part of your body where it's like.
So I think you bring up like a wonderful point there. I mean, that's something that I'm kind of passionate about, to be honest.
Flossing?
Personal hygiene,
just in general. I mean, really. So like, I come from a very aggressive work background. I mean, like I've been in deep construction and a lot of very dangerous zones and stuff. And you look around at the community.
Everyone doesn't give a shit. No one takes care of themselves.
I mean, yeah, in the nicest way possible. They're the kindest humans you meet. I mean, they're very nice people. Yeah, there is definitely some dickweeds out there. Don't get me wrong, but. I mean, you run into these people and it's just their day-to-day life to not really, you know, they look at a guy like me and they say, oh, you're just a pretty boy or something. And the fact is the reason I am a pretty boy is because I take the time, I shower properly, you know, you gotta wash under your kneecaps, wash your feet, get your shit, you know, don't be disgusting. But anyways.
Do you guys use loofahs?
I do.
Yeah, I do, and I understand that they're not the most clean, but I do change out.
That's why you buy a new one every few months if you're not a fucking
I just
heathen.
do the bar soap.
You're out of pocket, Scott. Listen, hear me out.
I do it by
I used to do the same shit, like a Neanderthal, like a caveman.
Yes.
And then I got roasted, and they're like, "Oh, you think you fucking doing something? Rubbing a little soap? No, you gotta fucking scrub if you want to get that grime off
you. You got roasted?
Yeah, because I remember I was
roasting you.
I think it was either Sydney or maybe it was someone who's not Sydney.
Oh my goodness. So that's funny. You guys bring up a good another good point is you know, so something that I obviously know is you've got a girl. I'm definitely in the single life. That's where I intend on staying. And so granted, I've had girlfriends and I think that's great, but not for me at this moment. I got too many plans of I'll be gone, so it's not really
feasible.
It's not feasible for me to have a girlfriend right now. But
yeah, dude,
it is so nice.
It's not convenient for me either. But I put in the work.
Believe me, dude, I absolutely get it. But it is nice though. Like if you're
blessed.
It's funny when you're like in a bar scene or something. Now, granted, I don't genuinely go to the bar all the time, but it's nice when you take somebody home with you and you get the weird compliments like, oh, you know, your room is clean. Oh, you know, I wasn't expecting you to be like me. Like I put lotion on and all that shit. So I have soft skin. No, that's something I lack on is the flossing. But I mean, it just makes me personally feel better as a human. I just feel clean and I like that.
It's crazy. If you take care of yourself, you feel better about yourself. It's crazy how that works.
Have you picked up any girls in Wisconsin?
I don't know if I can answer that right
He
now.
can nor confirm or deny the allegations.
Okay.
His lawyer is refusing to comment.
You guys have some pretty wild mommies out here, especially the short ones. So, but yeah,
That's right.
I'm obviously I've been
That's
out
not my
here-
department, not my field.
I've been out here
know.
for a month, and like I said, it's the single life, so that's part of the thing that I'm into. I mean, yeah, obviously I had to pick up a girl here, so
Have to, while you're in the neighborhood. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, in the neighborhood.
Tell me about what you got, or maybe not even what you got, but what you're looking forward to. Is there any dates coming up? Like, are you getting to see your family? Is there anything like you personally, like any personal projects you're working on?
Yeah, man. There's a rave that we should all go to. That's happening, and I want to take you guys to a rave before you leave.
What day?
I see
He
your
leaves
Saturday.
Saturday.
I think we should all go somewhere.
Wait, where? He leaves Saturday.
I will tell you, I have all
This
of my
Saturday
shit.
you're leaving?
Yeah.
This Saturday, yes, I am leaving, and it's funny
Oh my
because
God.
I'm literally leaving to go to a rave on Saturday.
Where?
But
You
I
want to go to the
have,
Michigan one? I'll drive because I gotta go.
I have more stuff going on too. I mean, there's other reasons that I gotta go visit home again, but the fact of
can't
the
go on
matter
Saturday.
is,
Damn.
Oh,
Wait,
well,
you're leaving on
well,
Saturday?
yeah. So
Damn.
what's going on Saturday? Is there one that's already planned? I would imagine.
You're
like
leaving
a concert,
Saturday. You're the one who said that.
No,
you're the one with the plan.
I was the mix-up here. He was saying he wants to bring you to a rave before you go. I had said he leaves Saturday, and that's where the confusion happened. But he's already going to one.
I'm
when he
literally
goes
leaving
home,
on
he's going to
Saturday
one
to go
on
home to
Saturday.
a rave. Now, granted, I love that you guys bring that up because it's such like for people that aren't in that environment, they're like, wow, you guys are like. I just get the. I was one of these people. I'm like, I'm not going to a rave. That's stupid. Like, I'm telling
All
you,
these fucking hipster hooping girls.
Go
and
get
shit.
the experience. Go try it. You might like it. You might not like it. Go in there with an open mind, and I mean, be willing to like it or not like it. But I personally have been to hundreds of them at this point, and I will not stop going probably until I'm 70. It is so fun.
Why 70? Why is 70 the cutoff?
You know what? I don't see living past 70. Maybe I will. We'll
You
see.
definitely will.
I never try to I try to enjoy my time here as it comes. I try to appreciate all the moments as it is. So that's why I don't mind hard times and stuff. Like, if I love the gym. You guys should definitely, like Zev, I know you've been in the gym. You even have, I heard compliments coming your way from being in the gym, and
Wow.
I fuck with it, dude. I appreciate it. So, because that means something to me. Because
He's saying compliments because I told him when Sydney got home after being gone for a day and a half. I was just got out of the shower and was like cutting my nails.
for the
She's
record,
like,
it was his girl that gave him the compliment.
she's like, damn, you're so skinny. I was like, bitch, don't get out. But I was like, nah, thank you. No, you called me fat, but I was
Get
like,
over here.
yeah,
Oh,
you know how it be. We'll put down the Patreon. No, put down the OnlyFans.
oh my god, dude! Don't get me started on
Dude,
OnlyFans.
I think it'd be funny to make an OnlyFans and have it be
Just funny up pictures.
like
of
like
us
we
or some
use that
shit.
as a Patreon.
Yeah,
Put
we should do
pictures of your
that.
foot on
Where
there.
we just have like our B-roll or like funny
Just
like
pics like-
bloopers.
Hey.
No, not even sexual, just like the bloopers or
You're right,
because
you're
people
right.
have to pay for that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that'd be a good experiment because it's not what people use that for.
We're tackling so many platforms here, and I love how optimistic it is, but I think you guys should hammer the YouTube. I fucking hate OnlyFans. I don't like anything
Why?
to do with it.
Why?
It rubs me the wrong way. I feel like so many morals are lost on that platform, and I just feel like the U.S. needs to come together and go, look. Okay, maybe I'm speaking too.
The U.S. are
out of pocket, but
capitalistic, so that will never happen.
I
That's the
have
problem.
right. I mean,
We
now,
are built
granted,
on capitalism, and America
Did you
loves
guys
money.
hear that OnlyFans apparently brought in more money than the average small country? They brought in $2.5 billion dollars with a B
Wow.
last year. And
That's
it?
a lot of simps.
That's fucking-
that
that's
is
some
a
brokey
lot
shit.
of simps, dude. So all my men out there, if you're paying for any OnlyFans accounts, just go to the bar,
Go to
get
the
some
gym,
game,
go to
get
your
kicked
local
in the
church,
teeth a couple
repent.
times, and figure out, learn how to deal with rejection and grow from it. Knowledge is power. Just go figure it
Go
out.
to the
you know?
church. Go on a Friday. Go up to the priest. Say, "Give me the holy water special." Dump the whole thing on yourself. Just go in the
Well,
mirror. Slap yourself in the
So
face.
your first problem is church is not on a Friday; it's on Sunday. So.
Well, for Catholics, it's Friday.
Oh, okay.
And Catholics have the holy
Gotcha.
water.
Okay, see, so that's
Wow.
a prime example of how stupid
what I'm talking
I
about.
still can be.
No, Zevin visited the Pope when he was a young boy.
Did you?
Oh,
Oh!
Scotty!
You're
Now I'm gonna get assassinated.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
He did you wrong right
I
there.
don't know. Zevin went to Epstein's Island too.
Come on. I wasn't even alive when that happened. That would have been 4.
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah, just a slide that feeds all the children straight to Epstein. That's great.
God.
On
Canceled.
vacation, it was beautiful locale.
No, but I didn't want to talk about myself, but here I go talking about myself. This week, I've just been busy shooting the video. Steven, I wanted to say thank you for, obviously, we went to the Cigar Lounge on Sunday. Jack, thank you very much, because 2 or 3 days prior, we went to Chicago, back-to-back days in the most ass weather. Because
I actually got sick.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
My stupid ass, we shot everything, got a bunch of good clips the first time, and I did it not in landscape. So, what does that mean? The $300 between parking, driving, drinking, and entrance fees. Yeah, all that time, money, wasted. So, what did we do? The next day, I begged this man, Jack, please, bro, I need this shit in landscape, please.
He was tearing me away from my
He grabbed me, he's like,
computer.
Zebby, I need to get this done, I'm sorry. And then I went back to my room and formulated a plot. Like, how do I get this fucker
I could
to
feel
say...
him. I was sensing him upstairs.
After like 3-4 times, I'm like, you know what, I can't. I'm gonna... Do I have to suck your dick at this point? What? You gotta come with me. You gotta fucking... I need these clips.
I was standing in the kitchen making breakfast, and I literally... Zev comes in there, doesn't say a peep. He's literally just leans up against the counter, crosses his arms. I knew what this motherfucker... I knew what he was gonna ask. And, he didn't pop the question until I said, hey, Zev, you alright?
I was like,
dude, it was wild.
Yeah, but needless to say... After a lot of poking and prodding and nagging this motherfucker, he came with me. The weather was horrible. It was fucking cold, rainy. It was fucking freezing, and to get the good shot, we had to be in like short sleeves. So this motherfucker got sick, but he was a good brother, and he did it anyways. And both of you, I really appreciate it. So
yeah,
it sounds like you might be hinting at something. So is there something you're working on in Chicago? What's the reason for all the visits?
Why do you say that? So I can't say too much, on this little disclosure agreement.
I was putting you on the spot. Tell me something. You gotta say something.
There's a good YouTube video in the works. It will be released by the end of this year. You guys can hold me to that. Crucify me in the comments on the video when you guys hear this. If I do not hold myself to that standard and follow through, which I'm not worried about, it will be done. But needless to say, it's going to be a very funny, entertaining, and flexy video. It's going to have a little bit of everything. A little bit of spice, a little bit of nice, and a little bit of everything else in between.
All right.
And yeah, that's all I can really say.
Steven, did you enjoy yourself at the Cigar Lounge? I saw you guys. So I did see, maybe some sneak peeks of what you guys were working on. And I will say, I got excited watching it. You guys looked like you had some good quality things going on there.
Dude, I just felt so good. Like, just suited up. We were,
the time went so fast.
And dude, honestly,
dressed so nicely. It just felt amazing. And smoking the cigars, I didn't think I'd like that much, but I honestly,
dude,
after I finished my
we're
first
cheap
one,
in those hoes.
we got a second one right after.
Oh, absolutely. I could imagine. There's nothing better than just a nice glass of bourbon. Get your mouth all numbed up, start cheaping on a cigar. Ooh, I'm jonesing just thinking about it. Oh, dude, that was so me, too. I loved wearing my captain's hat out on the boat back at home. And I would just drive out there with a fat Cohiba in my mouth. Like,
Tony Soprano style.
Just bite on that fucker.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Colton's ass took 2 puffs, and he's like, I was like, man, give me that shit, Junior.
Wait, you bit it to, instead of using the cutter?
No, I cut them, so I'll usually use
he gets
I'll get them fucking nice and tucked in.
Really?
Give a good bite on it.
I was like, God damn. I know when he told me that, I was like, I don't do that.
I am a nicotine fanatic, dude, so I am kind of grimy when it comes to it.
I am a nicotine
I see a cigarette and I start itching. I'm like, just give me that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, which is bad. Like, I didn't realize. I always started, when I was younger, I just got into chewing, and I'm like, wow, this makes me feel so cool doing it. Like, and I gotta be honest, that's why I did it. And I'm like, wow, I'm so cool, look at this. And then lo and behold, like 5-6 years go by, hundreds of probably 1,000 cans of dip went by, and I'm like,
Jeez.
I am very much in the problem zone right here.
Do you think that, smoking a cigar, I don't know, maybe once a month, is that harmful to your health? Because you're not really ingesting
Listen,
smoke.
dude, you gotta live a little bit. Like, if you're not willing to live a little bit,
Right.
if it's the same thing as you should drive the speed limit, but if you haven't hit 100 miles an hour before, then are you really living? Are you really living?
Sometimes you
If you're gonna
make
go
the
on
engine
your
purr a little bit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And if you
Yeah.
listen, you're gonna ride your motorcycles. Maybe one day take the helmet off. Live while you can, because if you don't have those cool stories, it's not gonna put that leather on your back. You know,
This
you need to
advice
be-
is not sponsored by the surgeon.
absolutely
The one day take off the helmet.
That's dude. Absolutely. At least you were living fast and proud while you were doing it.
Yeah, hey man.
For real, dude. I'm so just full of life. I love that shit. Like, I love being in those situations where you get the adrenaline pumping. So, anyways, back to the nicotine. Yes, that was a problem.
Yes, I am a
stopped
fiend.
it. I stopped it for
was.
the most part, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't rip a cigar or rip a fucking dart before I came on the podcast. But
You had to keep
that's
it
my-
a stack
That was
with
my
your
first.
brothers.
That was my first one in 4 months. Now, granted, that's just as
Coping.
that's an excuse.
Yeah,
Granted, I shouldn't have
cope 'em.
smoked it. I knew what I was gonna do, but I enjoyed it. And if you can't smile a little bit, then honestly, and I have some pretty dark thoughts on why would you not smile? Fuck, if you're not gonna smile, then fucking die.
Oh, God. That's one way of putting it.
Not for
folks.
real. Not for real. No.
But more so in a meaning where if you don't smile, what is the point of living?
Yeah.
Like, is that
Yeah.
kind of what you mean?
Yeah. I think you nailed it right on the head there. I mean, exactly. Like, you gotta find times to be happy about something. Maybe you do something that's not. It's just like breaking the speed limit. It's not.
That's how I felt about the renting this very nice car.
Oh.
Rari.
Oh.
Because I'm
Wow.
like, so let's say this video, I put all this time, this money, this effort into it, and it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, that would hurt a little bit, but to be honest, I'm still just happy. Like, that cigar lounge, I was happy to pay, and that was a wonderful experience that I will have in my memory till I die. The same thing with the Ferrari. Not only am I get to take, I told my mom, I'm taking your ass for a ride. I'm going 100 in this bitch, and you about to go crazy in this with me. I was like, I'll outrun him. I'll be in the right car to fucking dust him.
Oh
so.
yeah. I almost leaked some more.
But right, keep it under wraps.
God.
Wrap it up.
So anyway,
Always wrap it up.
Back to a topic that I was kind of curious about, and I guess this is a little bit on spot because I'm not sure what your guys' knowledge is on it or what your experiences have been. But have you guys been abroad or anything, or maybe out west farther than I have? I mean, I've literally only come to Wisconsin, and I live in Michigan, so
Sure.
I really have not came that far west. But I have came west.
If you get my drift. I'll just answer that first. I've been to almost every single state in the United States. I have not been to Hawaii, and I have not been to Alaska, and and New York. New York and Maine, so those 4 for sure. But I think I've almost been to every other state in the United States besides that. However, I have not left the country yet, which that's my goal. My goal last year was to get my passport, and I would like to... My top 3... I know this is off topic. My top 3 things I'd like to get done before the end of this year is passport, ready to go, life insurance policy, already done and instated.
Life insurance.
This is not any financial advice. But
Yeah, right.
on the record, this is not
And
financial
you guys
advice.
are going to roast me, which I deserve it. Get a credit card because I'm a 23-year-old grown man who doesn't have a credit card, so really I'm a little boy because
Did you
I don't
just
even have a
say
credit
you're
card.
23 and you don't have a credit card?
That's why I said I'm a little boy. Until I get
lot
that
of people-
credit card, I'm a grown
lot
man.
of
About the
people-
right age to start.
No, the right age
There
to
is
start
18,
is right
16,
now.
like,
the right
yeah.
age to start
Yesterday.
is right now. However old you are, if you do not have an account, the best thing you can do for yourself is start early and don't even use the card. At least open an account, and that at least looks better than having nothing.
Yeah, like
I'm
the length
talking-
of time is good. Yeah.
You're going to be spending hundreds of, if not, you might even spend thousands of dollars more on certain things.
Because you have bad credit.
Yeah, just because of your bad credit.
Or no credit, which is
Yeah.
damn near the same thing as having bad credit.
Yes.
Yeah, the thing about credit cards is nice because I use one of my American Express cards for groceries, and I was paid off right after I
You get cash
go
back
shopping.
points, right?
And yeah, I mean at the end of the month, it's like an extra, $20 or however much it is. You know, and that adds up.
Take
you know,
what you can get.
you can kind of bank that, and then after a few months, you don't spend it. You're like, all right, well.
Are you talking about the cash back or something? You
Yeah.
get some cash back on the card.
Yeah, like those cards that do, you know, like you get 3% on every purchase,
Sure.
or you know, kind of something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's proved valuable to me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of one of the
Valuable to everyone if you can utilize it.
great reasons to. I mean, if you are able to not get overwhelmed and like pay on time, but another good reason to have a credit card as well. Like the reason Courtney got hers is to cover large expenses that you may not want to pay for, like a service or maintenance on your car.
Mm.
You know, if you don't have the, you know, $500-$600, however much it is.
Liquid funds up front, you
Yeah.
can at least bank on the card for a minute. Now, granted, that's not for everybody to do that, but it seems like you guys are smart enough to know, you know,
Yeah.
obviously if you spend money, that's not your money, so you gotta
Right.
gotta be more diligent with money that's not yours. You can't just spend. People say, "Oh, I'll spend it like it's my money," and the fact is
It is your money,
Most
and
people
now
spend
you
their
own
money
it.
straight up stupid. Like they are straight up just stupid with it.
Guilty.
You know, I'm not. I'm saying if you got
Smoking
it,
cigars and driving Ferraris are mine, so I don't know. I guess I'm a retard. But I have fun doing it.
It's you got to take it as it comes, though. I mean, you gotta have some experiences like that. And honestly, with some of the things that you've been really lucrative with setting up some memories that have really Oh, this sounds bad. They've really imprinted on my head, though. On my
That
mind.
sounds even worse.
No,
Have you traumatized him?
It seems like it. Blink twice.
Some of these things that we've done, you know, being that North Carolina, we had a whole bunch of buddies that came and joined us there. There was a time that you guys wanted to have another trip planned, and I couldn't make it because of work and stuff. And next thing you know, I was getting a call from Zev. Hey, there's 10 of us, and we're heading out towards Michigan.
I was like, we are
30 minutes away
10
from my
minutes
house.
of your
I'm
house.
like,
If you don't come, I'm going to drive down there and beat your ass in the middle of the night.
No, it was wonderful. I mean, I had a great time during that, and those are lifelong memories. I mean, they were definitely worthwhile.
I want to talk about this. I'm going to save this for the next pod we do, which the next time us are together, unless we do a bonus episode, which could happen. I'll save it for the next episode, but I'm going to dive into how me and you actually met. Because I don't think we've ever talked about it. I mean, I know you know.
Have we talked about it?
No, but we'll save it for the next episode to keep these fuckers tuned in every week.
Wow.
Can't give them too much.
I mean, dude, the way that I met Zev is very unconventional. I don't think it's...
You couldn't guess it.
it's-
I could give you 100 guesses and
I-
you wouldn't guess
I
it.
I don't
think-
even think you told me this story.
I don't think anybody would guess how me and Zev met. Like, the factors that went into play, like, Jesus made this happen. Like, this...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No,
You
I
hear
believe
about
that.
these kind
I
of
do.
stories,
I
but like
believe
you
it.
think they're staged.
in-
When most
in-
of the time they are, but ours isn't.
In terms of having a good friend would be such an understatement to just say that. I love
Likewise.
Zev the way that I love my true brothers, because he is just he's willing. It's not often you find a friend that's willing to go, you know, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're an idiot. You need to.
But
look,
in his best
let me keep
interest,
it-
not being an asshole.
It's not to be an
Right,
asshole.
right,
I mean, certain things in that moment I might be like, you know what, Zev, you're just being an asshole. But the fact is like, you go a little bit later and you're like, you know what?
That asshole knew what he was talking
I gotta
about.
give him
goddammit.
a pat on the back. You've really put me in a good direction, and I appreciate that. And
you've done that
I don't
likewise
think it would be
100
any
times.
shorter. I'm a very stubborn fuck, and you know that. So,
Yeah.
I'm very driven for the way that my mind thinks.
Like-minded monkeys think together. Think alike.
Oh my, got canceled.
Monkeys.
So, should we just talk about how you guys met?
I mean,
I don't know. I kind of already
So
poked and
basically-
blue balls them.
basically,
I want to know now.
dude. So I used to I used to play all sorts of video games and stuff.
Fuck
and
it, we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. You get it in this episode. 2 for 1 special.
Yeah, you guys better fucking hit the subscribe button. on
Like,
this
comment,
one. I mean,
subscribe, donate.
No,
fucking-
for real. I mean, because this is some exciting stuff here. I mean, so it became a big boom where all these Xbox gamers and PlayStation gamers were meeting their friends. Me and Zev had that beat by like 4 years. We literally, so I remember seeing TikTok had just came out about the time maybe we might even been pre-TikTok.
Like,
We were. No, we were.
2016?
2015 is like... No, 2016 is like when I would say 2016 when we became friends. No.
It's already 2023, bro. I think it was 15.
I think it was
a long
15
time
because
ago.
I was like, wait a minute, no, we were in high school, and then I was like, no, I've been playing that game
So-
since I was fucking 11 years old.
So we played this little pixel game. I almost don't even want to give them a shout out.
ROTMG. If you guys
If
look
you
it
know what
up
that
and you
is.
can find it.
If you know what Rotmag or ROTMG
ROTMG,
is,
that's all I'm saying.
But I don't want to make myself sound like too much a nerd. But
Nerd.
and I don't want to do the same thing to you. But
I am what I am.
I was such a bad kid, dude. I would skip school and just play video games all day, and then I met this motherfucker.
Then it got worse.
On the video game, dude. Mind you, my home state is 4 states away from you guys. This is hours we're talking about. You guys are in a different time zone than I live in.
Yep.
And so I came over here, so granted, we met on the video game or whatever, and Zev decided, he's like, how crazy would it be? It's always you with the crazy ideas too. It's like, how would you,
That's
how would
true.
you feel if we
Someone's
met?
got to fucking come
And
up with shit.
So I already knew, like, it progressed off the game into where I got his Snapchat, and then we had phone numbers, and then we started FaceTiming, and so I knew who Zev was. It wasn't like I was just meeting a random guy. I had built a relationship with him over, the past 5 years, and I gotta be honest,
I fucking catfished his ass pretty good.
he did not look anything like he... No, I'm kidding.
He was a fat piece of shit.
No, dude, I think we were all fucking pieces of shit. We just smoked hella pot. I don't
Skipped
know
school,
how to say that.
played. No, we did what we did. You can't take it back.
It was a different time. Definitely have grown since then. And,
Times have changed since
it was interesting, So anyway, he just said, he popped the question: how would you feel if we came out and met each other? How crazy would it be?
He popped the question.
Popped his cherry.
That was crazy at that time because it wasn't like you just met like. Everybody's moms were like, "Oh, you can't meet
Stranger
strangers."
danger.
Yeah, right.
That was
Obviously,
real
the whole
back
stranger
then.
danger
Right.
thing.
It is
And,
real. It is still very real.
It was less of a techie world at that point, and so it was like.
It wasn't so widely accepted.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
so granted, you see these videos like meeting my Xbox friend or whatever, and then they go to the airport, and it's like, two schlobby ass fat Mexicans.
Oh, okay, now you're canceled. Now you're
Start it again.
At any rate, bro, that's okay. I might be biased because that's the video that I watched. That's the video that I watched.
might be racist.
No, bro, absolutely not. I will not stand on that at all.
Absolutely
Definitely
not.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, Zeb.
No, but in all seriousness, we met when I was I think I was 15, you would have been 14, or I would have been 16 and you were 15.
You gonna little bro
That
me
sounds
like
about
that?
right. I mean, I'm not a little bro. I mean, I'm 1 year older. I'm not a little bro in you. I'm just big bro.
That's the way it is, right?
Hey.
Yeah,
I didn't ask to be born first.
So anyways, me and Zev met on a video game. It was pretty neat, but we have long since evolved from that, and I would almost say we became business partners for a little minute there when we were starting to do the content journey.
Lifelong brothers, I mean...
All right, we're doing it right now.
Always shooting good ideas off each other. I met some great people like Steven, obviously I met your brother when he came out.
And everyone else who also played the game, so really, I feel like we left out a crucial piece of information,
Dude, there
which
was
is,
a ton of
I
friends.
invited to this guy, to my guild, which is like, the Clash of Clans would be your clan, or whatever you want to say, your group of people that you form a party with, pretty much. I invited him to my guild, that's how we pretty much got associated, and then, as the same group of players, me, Jack, my brother, Jacob, 10 others, as we've stayed together and played the same game for 5 years, then recently we did a guild trip where we invited 10 of these fucking online nerds to meet up and
I will
smoke up a Airbnb for a fucking week, and it was a ball both times.
It was an absolute riot.
This recent time was that one was off the chain. That show will be on the Patreon the next time we do it.
You better not say a word about it.
No, I'm not going to. That's classified. It's classified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's the backstory how we met.
Anyway, so I don't even look at the game anymore, obviously. I'm more or less, I just made a good friend out of it, and we've moved forward in
Did
that
you guys
aspect. And
quit the game? Are you still playing?
haven't played
He
in,
pretty much quit, even though
years.
he played like a few weeks ago, but like for like 5
Dude, I
minutes.
literally
For like
played
5 minutes.
a 5
yeah.
minute session. I wouldn't consider.
I
I haven't
also
played the game in 3 years.
Just a quick hit.
I pretty much hop on just to like hold appearances because like obviously I still run the guild. I still am friends and in the same.
He's proud of it. He's like, this is my livelihood. I spent 10 years
Pretty
doing
much.
this.
I mean, well, no. The way I look at it is like I used to think like, oh, how much fucking time I've wasted in this game, which I have spent a lot of time. But then I recently had a different mindset where I was like, well, I wouldn't have never met Jack. I would have never met 10 of the other people that I'm actually really close with. Not as close as I am with Jack, but my friend David, I'm really close to him too. Like, there's a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
that
I met David.
I met a
David.
lot of good connections and just good people through
What's
that
what's
game.
David's screen name?
Bonum.
Shout out Bonum.
Yeah, shout out Bonum. He'd be Bonum.
There was always the wackest names on that game, but it was great.
But that's why I used to think it was like a waste of time. Like, oh, I could have made more money. I could have studied. I could have done this, that, and the third, which is all true. But on the same in the same token, I would have never made a lot of like lifelong friends and connections. So I just you can view everything with a glass half full or a glass half empty, and
There's
I think
nothing wrong with
I like
video
that
games.
analogy.
No.
Stephen, do you have any thoughts on... I'm pretty spiritual. I kind of like looking into how fate works and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
I believe things genuinely do happen.
Gemini,
for-
Moon, Rising, Scorpio.
Actually,
I was just about to say.
Actually, I'm a Libra.
He's a Sagittarius.
I am a Libra.
You know what's crazy is that I have so many close friends who are Libras.
Really?
And like October, I just
September
celebrated
28th.
Early Libra
just,
here.
Just last week, it was my friend's birthday, and that was the 5th person's birthday that I celebrated so far in
Damn.
October.
Oh
There's so
my.
many October birthdays.
Yeah, I agree.
You're almost
I
sick
know.
of them at this
I mean,
point. Like, God, I'm
It's
happy you
unbelievable.
guys
This
are
is
getting
the
older.
busiest month. This is the busiest birthday month for me.
I don't
Friends.
know.
But so how do you feel about like fate and stuff like that? Do you ever like kind of what I'm trying to pick at what some of your like maybe religious
right.
views are and stuff like that? Are you interested in? Do you believe things happen for a reason? Do you believe we just go through life and we're living on a spinning rock, or
We are living on a spinning rock.
we are?
You know what? There are times when I do think that fate plays a critical role in where you experience things, because I've had moments in my life that have been so perfectly timed, and even just the other day, think about taking my garbage to the curb, and I see you outside. I was putting off taking my garbage out, and then you pulled up, and were telling us that you got fired from your job, and something like that.
We talked about this last episode. I know I got fired.
Well, no,
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I
But
was
that
forcing
was
it.
the most recent example, but I mean, there's other things.
It made me feel better. I'm
know.
glad that you were also right there. Like, just how you saw when you saw me pull in, that kind of made you come out. I was glad you did, because at that moment, I was feeling like shit on the way home. I was like,
Yeah.
it just felt good. Like, my boys, right when I pulled in. Like,
Yeah.
I was honestly having a terrible day, but just seeing you guys, just, a handshake, a quick pat on the back, like that,
It'll
that,
be
that,
alright,
does,
dude.
that does a lot more
I
than
realized.
you think.
I realized in your 20s, like, and this is coming from somebody who's still in their young 20s, but I realized it's really a trial and error period. Like, I've talked to so many people that are like, they've worked a job because their mom told them to get a job, and then lo and behold, they've had that same job for 15 years.
That's my nightmare.
Which, now, granted, that is literally my nightmare, because it's just, I am all about trying to gather new experiences and trying new things. Not trying to be a cool...
We're back!
We'll be right back.
You racist bastard!
No, so, anyways, I'm all about trying new things and stuff like that, and, so...
Try new things.
It's I think it's really interesting when you take leaps and jump out of situations that you might be comfortable and accustomed to,
Right.
and try and, shoot, when I jumped out of I was literally doing foundry work. I was rebuilding blast furnaces that smelted down iron and aluminum, and then I quit that to do content, and everybody was looking at me like, you're out of your mind for doing that.
Is Foundry involved? Like, what is that? You said it's like smelting.
Yeah, so literally, so
Whoever
foundry.
smelt it dealt it.
What a foundry typically does is they'll have specific shapes, and usually they work with molten metals and stuff. So they have really, really hot furnaces that have capabilities to melt things like aluminum, which melts at 1850 degrees, and they have things like iron melters that melt at 2850 degrees. Those are very hot temperatures. And so basically there's like really neat science that goes into place on how they can get certain shapes for these places. So one of the places that I worked in, they did parts for like Peterbilt trucks. They would pour, anything from rotors to brake calipers to I-beams, which build bridges and stuff. So
Wow.
It was really everything. I've even been to places that make cast iron pots and pans and hand tools and stuff like that, like your hammers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
really, I kind of was all over in that environment, and I was really comfortable doing it. Like, it was a very gritty, hardcore job. I came out of there looking very dirty every single day, but it built a lot of character on me. And so for me at that time to tell everybody, like, I'm going to take this jump and I think I'm going to go a different route and do the photography thing and, maybe follow my content dreams, that was really kind of nerve-wracking for me. And so that was some of the reason that I was a little nervous to come to Wisconsin in the first place. Mm-hmm. But what that did is, since I took that jump, now I found my hidden passion, which has always been a crazy thought of mine. Like, imagine if I could fly an aircraft of really any sort. I would love to be an airline pilot one day, but literally just flying like a regular single engine, Cessna 140 plane would be sweet to me. Like,
so is this something that has always interested you, but is just now materializing?
So now it's kind of like
for it.
I've almost manifested it into something that I'm like. Well, now I'm doing it. I'm literally in that space now, and that's what I've dedicated a bunch of time into learning, is how to get into that space. But so I'll give you this. My uncles were both in the Air Force, and when I was a younger kid, my grandparents, they would always take me to air shows, and actually I was on some really neat planes that there was this tri-motor plane that I was on. I wish I could remember the name of it. It drives me nuts that I don't have the name of it, but there was only 3 of them left in existence, and only 2 of them were still functioning. So it was a really neat experience for me, and I think that just kind of was like my eye-opener as a kid, like, wow, I really enjoy this stuff. And so now I'm at the age to where I can actually start pursuing some of those ideas. So even though I worked a bunch of construction growing up and stuff, from early teens all the way into my early 20s, which, like I said, I'm only 22, but granted, there was a good period of time where I was just doing construction. I built houses, I built pole barns, like barn dominiums, and then obviously I did the foundry work too. And that was all nice for income, but it never really made me happy. I was actually more or less depressed every day because I didn't feel like I was living up to my full potential. Sure. Now, when I'm talking about flying aircraft and stuff, that's something that I would be happy doing until the day I die. Like, that would literally make me feel fulfilled as a person. I think it's so exciting when you can find something like that. Like, it's just, I'm blessed for even having the ability to put these connections together. And, so that's where I'm at. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, dude,
it was a lot.
It's so important that you have it figured out. Yeah. Not entirely, but like you have a trajectory. Just knowing is so crucial.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and I've been there. I've been the guy who has no fucking idea what I'm gonna do. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. And honestly, back in high school, I took that mindset and I'm like, I'm just gonna work construction for the rest of my life. And I think it's really stupid to put yourself in a position like that when you think this is all you can do, but then you put yourself outside of your comfort zone, like making content, for instance, and then you find all these other opportunities that have always been there, but you're just now able to see them because they, you didn't put a second thought about it before. Right. So, getting out of construction, I will say in that industry, like I consumed a lot more alcohol. I consumed a lot of nicotine. I was definitely willing to, spend some later nights hanging out at like a bar or maybe a friend's house or something. And honestly, I've buckled down these last like probably a year and a half, and I've really just taken life very seriously now. And I've kind of been a gym goer for about 3 years now. I would say I've been very serious about it for the last 2 years. Yeah, I would say 2 years. I've been pretty dead not serious about it. And I actually will get mad if I don't go to the gym. So, but it's nice.
Rage.
No.
He's natural.
Maybe.
Got me? You Myron?
You Myron, bro? You Myron? So, yeah, so, anyways, yeah, that's just a little burst of, maybe some inspiration for somebody listening, Don't be afraid to take the jump and try something new, because the connections from people that
just
I've met
trying
that do so many different things. It's like, how do you get into that? And it's like, you've just got to do it.
And just to add on to that real quick, I would agree, like, even if no one supports you, even if you don't have
there's
no
support,
reassurance.
dude. There's no support.
A lot of the time, even your friends and the people close to you who you think would be positive and support you, those are the ones who are negative. Are like, oh, why are you going to do that? That's not going to work. That's stupid.
They almost
Fuck
hold
that,
you back.
guys. Fuck that. If you have an inclining to do something, or you have a gut feeling telling you that, or maybe it's just an interest, like, you know what, I always want to do that. Do it. Don't even think how. Just fucking do it. And I promise you will feel better about yourself that you did it, you tried, you made the effort, rather than 10 years ago, I wish I would have done that.
Well, so back to what I said. Like, when I say use your 20s as a trial and error period, I was part of a carpenter union for some time, too. I'm not going to say what local it was, but it was back in Michigan. Definitely one of the bigger ones there for anybody who knows about them. I was in there, and I was committed to that for, it was going to be a 40-year ordeal, and I honestly just hated every single day doing that, too. I'm just like, I feel like there's so much more in life that I could be doing, and, yeah, so it was good for me to take a jump.
Scott, any last minute thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, advice, wisdoms, motivation?
I support all my friends, so, I mean, hearing you say that you've, been undertaking this dream of becoming an airline pilot, I think that that's amazing. And I have nothing but respect, and I wish you the best. And I honestly think that you're more than capable of accomplishing.
You'll be a great pilot.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you again for honestly having me on the show. I'm very excited to be able to share some of these thoughts.
It won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is going to be neat to look back on, because this is almost like
it's a time capsule.
It's like a hold 'em accountable type deal. Like, 5 years from now, I should be an airline pilot.
And 5 years from now, we should be popped off.
But I am
clipped and shipped.
Clip it. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm the type of person I already know that I'm going to come back, and
I'm excited.
It's gonna be
and
nice.
that will be my most exciting podcast. Not mine. All three of us, because not only you will be a pilot, I can say with confidence, strike me down dead right now, God, if this is not the case. We will be where we want to be with our content, and I know for damn sure you will be a very good pilot. So, It's the neighbors. Till next time, guys.
I'm going to crash the plane.
No, I'm kidding! 9/11 was an inside job. Good night!